welcome to F1 Now. In this video we're going to be giving you our review on the surprisingly amazing Miami GP. This past weekend we got to witness a special Miami GP that was levels above what we saw in its first offering last year. Wow, not too many new words can be said to explain just how fantastic Max Verstappen was in Miami while making his way to the front. It also must be said again, this Miami Grand Prix was indeed special because it gave us a great race filled with good racing, many overtakes from start to finish, and really a race that was about the right strategy course. By this we mean the race was one of those that tires were probably more important than the DRS itself. This race was a one-stop for the best race strategy, but not in the way many teams had expected. The top half of the grid chose to go with beginning the race with medium tires with the pit window around lap 13 to 20, and then straight onto the hards to finish the race. And this was projected to be the fastest strategy, but notably Verstappen and Hamilton's strategy proved to be the right call for the race, considering the gains they were able to make throughout the race. Lewis and Verstappen started the race on hard tires, looking to have an extended first stint, and then move on to the mediums to have better attacking pace in the end. Now this strategy was also adopted by some on the lower half of the rest of the field. The race began as expected, with the top half changing places as there were a few cars out of place such as Magnussen's Haas. Further down the field, patience was the name of the game. With the fastest cars such as Verstappen and Lewis, we didn't see any overtakes from Verstappen particularly until there was DRS, and this was a smart move because it ensured he was not involved in any unnecessary chaos that would cost him his positions. From then on, we quickly saw how the weather and track really benefited the hard tire and less on the medium. Verstappen was able to make up places quickly, even reaching Alonso, who was second around lap 15. Max's benefit was that on high fuel loads, the hards were able to stay on optimum conditions, allowing him to lean harder on them compared to Perez at the front, who found himself having to heavily manage the mediums by lap 10. By then, Verstappen and Perez were trading sector times and fastest laps with the different tires, and looking back, it was evident just how bad the situation was for Perez because he wasn't able to break away from Alonso, and Verstappen was closing in on him quickly when he had to pit and switch on to the hards. Perez found it hard to close the gap on Verstappen's 17-second lead because there was less fuel weight on the car to really switch on the hards, which then meant Verstappen could comfortably extend his first stint to give him a better chance with the medium. When he then switched into the medium, there was only a second and a half to Perez in the lead, and that was pretty much it for Perez's Miami win hopes. So an impressive drive from Verstappen, showing that the only way Perez can win this championship is by firstly being second at minimum, and by always being there to recover the points won when Verstappen is having an off day, because on raw pace it seems unlikely for now. Further down the grid, Alonso was having a lonely race because of a strong showing by him to brush off any challenges from either Mercedes or Ferrari car. Now it must be said the performance shown by Ferrari and Mercedes was very alarming. Ferrari during quali came out guns blazing, giving us hope they might as well be a challenge for the Red Bulls with their performance. But as expected, the SF23 fell short on the racetrack. This is because the car seems to run through tire life faster than the rest, and after the race both Ferrari drivers admitted to the fact that the car is quite tricky to drive, feeling as if it's on a knife's edge. Hopefully Ferrari can pull together and improve their car because it seems to have a lot of potential waiting to be unlocked. With Mercedes on the other hand, we saw a car that simply lacked speed. The car was so underperforming it became evident in quali that had Leclerc not crashed, Russell would have found himself further down the pack, closer to Hamilton. Now it must be said that this team was able to turn around a disappointing quali with better strategies to move up the pack in the case of Hamilton. Both drivers even showed respect for one another's race by not holding up each other to get maximum results. With the Miami Grand Prix behind, Mercedes it seems left with more questions than answers to the W14. With Imola closing in, with the expected upgrades, the biggest question would have to be, will they work to ensure that the W14 is able to at least outperform Aston Martin and Ferrari? In Miami, both Alpine drivers showed what's possible for the improvement. The upgrades that have been brought into the cars in previous races show a significant and positive change, and it really has to have young drivers who are motivated and fully behind the team's plan. Another noteworthy driver would have to be Tsunoda. Personally, I don't think Tsunoda has received the credit he deserves this year, just because he hasn't been getting that many points. With the introduction of De Vries, everyone expected him to be the leader of the team because of what he has achieved outside of Formula 1. But it seems that his introduction at AlphaTauri has made Tsunoda up his game and finishing in positions that their car probably doesn't belong with the pace they currently have. With that being said, there is plenty to look out for in the coming days in terms of improvements being planned by the team. So thank you for watching this video and bye for now.